Hi, I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm Steven Jondrew, and we're from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of the individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 560 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Thursday, May 30th, at 8:15-ish p.m. Eastern Time. I stuttered all my way through that. I apologize. But don't worry, it'll get better from here. I'm just getting warmed up. My name's Chris. I kick things off each week, and I'm always joined by the usual band of misfits. Let me introduce first Mr. Anthony Bachman.
I don't know how we're going to warm things up because I am a meat popsicle.
Always a meat popsicle. But we'll rely on this man's quick-witted commentary and a warm, positive attitude, Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
What? Why you put... Listen, I'm at a level of frustration. Do you want to know the level of frustration I'm at?
What level are you?
So picture this. You're going down the highway. You're just cruising along, enjoying your time, just being peaceful. No one's really doing anything. And you're in the next to left lane, all right? You're in the, not the fast lane or the passing lane. Use those terms interchangeably. You're in the next lane. You're just going down. Oh, there's a line of cars ahead of me just going, like slightly slower. Let's say 7 miles an hour slower than you. Like, all right, let me just get the passing lane and pass them. And you move on over, and then a couple cars ahead from the guy in the back in front of you decides to get over too, and he decides just to go only 6 miles an hour slower than what the other people are doing. So they're going 7 miles an hour slower. They're going 6. They're going 1 mile faster than the other people, and you're just stuck behind them too. Like, why did you choose to get in front of me to go slower? I didn't tell you to get in front of me. You chose to do this.
Because he wanted to go
That's
1 mile per hour faster.
Then go faster and get in front of them and go your speed you want to go. That's all there is to it. If you're in the passing lane and you got a line of cars behind you, you're fucking up.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, that is true.
As someone who used to do the interstate 5+ days a week at my previous job when we were still working on site, I had strong feelings about the passing lane. Very strong feelings.
Yeah, Boise has a problem with that because as you head into downtown Boise, 3 lanes go left into downtown and 3 lanes go right and continue on the interstate through the rest of Boise. So even though the left lane should be the passing lanes for the downtown commuters, that's everybody going downtown Boise takes the 2 left lanes that become 3 lanes when the freeway splits. It's awful because they'll get to the left, all the way over the left lane and do 65 miles an hour.
And let me guess, people like to wait to merge over at the very last bit.
That too, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the caveat everyone forgets. Like, ooh, people don't know how to merge. Now, yes. Now, I'm one of those people that likes, there's going to be a lane closing up ahead. Let me just go ahead and get in the correct lane. That's on me. I get it. The zipper method does work better than that if people knew how to fucking do the zipper method, but no one does. No. One car, one car, one car, one car, one car, one car.
The zipper method confuses them.
It's so...
Don't even get me started on people trying to handle traffic circles either, because that's been the recent thing the last 5 years where I live is they've started putting traffic circles in to alleviate congestion. But the problem is people freak out like, I don't know how to do this traffic circle. And the next thing you know, they're jumping across 3 lanes of traffic, going the wrong way. Like the first day the traffic circle opened, you go right and go through the traffic circle. Dude turns left in the traffic circle on oncoming traffic. I'm like, oh my God, we're all going to die.
Well, and the first problem might be people saying, what the fuck is a traffic circle? Because out here, Idaho started building a bunch of roundabouts. So I don't know what a traffic circle is.
That's
same difference.
Yeah. If people call it something else, then people get more confused.
I think you'll hear it get called a traffic circle when it's smaller than what a traditional roundabout is. Because a roundabout I think of as a larger version of a traffic circle. That's my own distinction in my head. I don't know if it's right or not, but that's how it always has seemed to me.
Yeah, as they call them all roundabouts out here. And yeah, what's weird is they've decided that to put them on a bunch of like the Idaho like back roads. So like the country roads that are still 45 miles an hour because you're just cruising by nothing but farmland and small houses, and then what are you used to hit a stop sign and then keep going. And now they've taken a bunch of those 4-way stop signs out, and here's a roundabout. And people are just fucking confused by them. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're fairly common in Europe, but not so much here. Although growing in popularity, because like when I was growing up, when we lived in Belgium, there was a roundabout that I kid you not was probably like 6 lanes deep.
Oh
so
wow!
In that you might have to take a couple passes through the roundabout to get the lane you want to get out, or something like that. And it's not unheard of. And one of my favorite stories was my dad telling this story of he and a coworker were going to go and do something, go and get food along the way as they were going out to do something for work. And the guy's like, I just don't know where I want to eat. So dad's like, okay. And just drove in circles in the roundabout for 5 minutes. It's like, I'm you to tell me you want to go in a different direction.
Well, there you go.
Guy's like, I'm dizzy. He's like, yeah.
I am still confused by one roundabout traffic circle that I've seen, because it just makes no sense why it's there. It's an entrance to one of my buddies' neighborhoods.
Uh-huh.
Like you turn off the main road, you curve up, and then there's a roundabout. And it's weird because it used to be just a T section. Boop, just T section. There's only 1 or 2 houses to the right. Why is there a traffic circle for 1 or 2 houses to the right? Just keep it a T section.
Is there a possibility of more stuff getting built up there that would require better flow to traffic? Were they being proactive in trying to make traffic not suck?
Either that or a history of accidents from people from one direction or the other not following a stop sign. Because usually that seems to be what's getting them replaced out here. Is high accident intersections, they're replacing them and putting in roundabouts.
It's never really all that busy anytime I've ever went to it. So I don't know.
And maybe they're prepping for maybe the city knows that 10 more subdivisions are going out on one of those streets.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, all they go so deep in there. So I don't know.
But they can always build up.
It seems like it's already pretty built up.
They can always build up mega cities.
Not in High Point. All right.
You can build mega city wherever you want.
I doubt will ever be yes, they have a lot of furniture business that happens on High Point, but because we have the furniture market that comes twice a year.
Is that a euphemism?
People rent out their houses for furniture market.
Wait, what is this? So literally people come to other people's homes and sell furniture? That's what's going on?
No. People come in for the furniture market. It's like a lot of furniture companies have like Expo or something that happens in High Point, North Carolina.
And so effectively
a lot of people
their homes
do like
Airbnb,
like a temporary Airbnb.
Gotcha.
Like a temporary one. They'll rent out their house, clean it all up and nice, and like, boom, you stay here, we'll stay in a motel, hotel, what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
And make some extra money.
There's a radio show I listened to in the morning, and there was like a tennis tournament or whatever in the one host's hometown where he lives, and he was working from home, and he goes, I think we have to take some time off. He goes, I'm going to Airbnb my house while this golf tournament's going on, or tennis tournament. I can't remember what it was. And like, what? He goes, yeah, I can make a crap load of money. They're like, where are you going to go? He goes, I'll go stay with my parents or something like that. I'll take the kids for a visit. I'm going to Airbnb this house and make like $2,000 over a week.
And I keep thinking if you were to get a condo in San Diego, you could probably make half your like yearly mortgage payments off of just renting it out for the week of San Diego Comic-Con.
I don't know anymore. It's not exactly like Comic-Con is Comic-Con anymore.
Yeah, but those hotel prices are still fucking Comic-Con prices. Like they're insane what they charge the week of Comic-Con. Like they add a zero basically to most of those hotel rooms.
See, my problem is I dislike people, and I even more dislike people in my space. So now I have to leave my space for a week and let people do whatever in my home. Pass.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do that. I mean,
that's what a cleaning crew's for.
The cleaning crew can only fix so many things you'd see under a black light.
That's why you don't use the black light. Ignorance.
No, that's why you just don't think about it.
Well, that too.
Jesus, if you go around with a black light in your house now, you'd be like, that ain't for me. That definitely ain't for me. Where the fuck did that come from? Yeah. Oh, for you audio listeners, I'm looking on the ceiling.
Then don't ever take it to the hotel room you're staying in.
Yeah, I try not to think about what has occurred in hotels, and not even just like I'm not talking sexual or anything like that. I'm just talking people treat hotel rooms like trash heaps at times.
This is true.
Yeah,
People
I
are
get
disgusting.
Yeah. Have some respect for
It's a
your
trash
home,
can, man.
even if it's a temporary home.
Yeah, that's why. One of the reasons I think I also like staying at the Disneyland hotels. I think people are less likely to be filthy animals at a Disneyland hotel.
I don't know, man.
'Cause it's
Disney does
Disney?
a lot of full service stuff for those rooms, so people might be more likely to be, fuck it.
Yeah,
They're just
see,
going to clean it up after me.
Well,
It's a toss up.
Yeah.
I'm
The
thinking
rooms
those
have always
Disney
been
adults.
super clean, though.
Those Disney adults want to treat Disney with respect.
It's true.
Man,
They're weird people, man. Those Disney adults.
You should see if you get a discount rate to go begin the Star Cruiser. They're not using it
Mhm.
anymore.
oh, I'm still waiting to see what they're going to do with that because I really hope that they like knock down some walls and turn that into a really cool hotel,
Well, guys,
but just a normal hotel.
I'm going to break the news right now. What's going to happen there? That's going to be the new Gonna Geek Studios. We're going to broadcast live from the Halcyon for all of our shows from now on. We're all going to have our own rooms there. We can come and stay in when we're broadcasting live. But the problem is you've now got to commit to like doing at least 4 weeks at a time worth of shows. And we're talking
Oh,
daily
no.
shows.
Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, but
that's
it's going to pay the same as
worst.
what this pays now.
Okay, that may be a problem. After the commute to Florida, that may be a problem.
I'll
Maybe we
make
could do the
a
LA
rug.
one. Who
Nope,
knows?
There's no Halcyon in LA.
I
They
thought
only
there was
built
one. Oh, it was only
no,
in Florida?
they only built the one in Florida.
Oh, okay.
No, they only lost that money once.
Yeah. I enjoyed the coverage I saw of it. I guess there's one YouTuber has done like a 4-hour piece on the issues with the Galactic Star Cruiser, and I've only had a chance to watch 15 minutes of the 4-hour video just because I have no problem with long form content. It's just I've been busy with other stuff, and I was interested enough. It's not something I wanted to be just background noise because I was always really interested in doing the Galactic Star Cruiser. But the problem was like $6,000 for 2 days worth of stuff there. And I was like,
Yeah.
for $6,000, I could do a week of Disney and Universal and have extra spending money.
Yeah, it was basically price restricted for the majority of people.
But side note, though, for anyone who's watching live right now, Disney has a flash sale today. All of the lightsabers are on sale on the Disney website for some
Don't tell me these
anniversary.
things.
Oh, yeah, it's like 25% off all the lightsabers.
I'm
How much
trying
are
to
the
not-
lightsabers normally?
Like
Trying to get me
160?
in trouble with my wife, man.
Oh.
That's not cool.
Yeah, they even had Ahsoka's dual sabers and stuff on there. They
Now
had
you're
Cal
really getting in
Kestis.
trouble.
They had Cal
The dual sabers
Kestis's
look nice.
lightsaber from the Fallen Order games. That was cool. There's some
All right,
cool
Bachman.
lightsabers on there.
Here you go. What are you going to do with those lightsabers? What are you realistically going to do?
Fight?
With them?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Hang them up on my
Man.
wall. Or
Yeah.
And what? Hang them up on your wall and that's it? Collecting dust?
play with them.
Well, see, I have always envisioned that Bachman's going to have the lightsaber in one hand and then Captain America's shield in the other arm, and he'll just
That's
go
in the
around that way.
garage. That's in the
Would a
garage.
lightsaber go through Captain America's shield? Let's ask this nerdy question that's probably already been asked multiple times.
Oh, I'm sure it's been asked.
Which version of the shield?
The vibranium one. Let's go traditional.
No, traditional would be the
traditional
real one in the
vibranium
comics.
and
Well, okay,
adamantium
let's
mixed
go with the
together?
longest used one. Let me rephrase.
Okay, so the real one from the comics, no, a lightsaber would not go through it.
But we
Could a
don't know.
lightsaber go through Wolverine's adamantium skeleton?
I don't
theory.
believe so. In the Marvel lore, I don't believe so. They've never shown anything that could cut adamantium.
Well, it got really hot and melts down, so I'm assuming it could.
I mean, and we did see. All right, here's the Star Wars aside, everyone watching live. Remember episode 1, how they were getting under the Trade Federation bridge at the very beginning. They jammed their lightsaber into the door and just started melting it.
Yeah, which because
Took a long time.
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot
but
of metal.
also the whole thing too is like the argument whether or not lightsabers create heat. It's like, if it's just light, if it's not like, because it's not like a laser beam shooting out, like it's just hard light. I don't know.
But
Well,
it
it
has the
cuts through
capability
things.
to cauterize flesh. So
Yeah,
wow.
so, yeah, it's the physics on it are a little weird.
I mean,
There are
let's
no
be honest
physics
here.
on it.
The
Yeah,
physics
but
behind most things in
Yeah, made up
movies and
superhero
comics
physics. I mean,
It's shaky.
I don't know, because I mean, I would think you'd have a better chance of cutting the Captain America shield in the movies because it's only vibranium, so it's designed to absorb vibrations.
I mean, but here's the thing.
It's not indestructible, which we saw because Thanos broke it.
Remember, Captain America had an energy shield for a while, a couple different times. That would not be pierced by the lightsaber in theory, because we've seen energy and energy.
Yep, vibro
they
shield,
can deflect.
vibro weapons.
Yeah,
yep.
They'll deflect, but they won't pierce.
Yep. Yeah, which is why vibro weapons can work against because they've showed it.
Vibro blades and KOTOR and stuff. Even.
What did I start here?
I wanted to say on.
Did I start?
In Mandalorian, didn't Paz Vizsla pull out a vibro knife when he was fighting Mando with the Darksaber? And he blocked it with a vibro knife.
Who the fuck is Rice Pilaf?
Paz Vizsla is
Rice Pilaf.
Yeah, Jimmy Fabs. That was Favreau's character in the Mandalorian show. The descendant of Pre Vizsla, who was like the first Clone Wars cartoon character to have the Darksaber.
Oh.
The more you know.
There you go.
I didn't catch any of that, for sure. And not knowing is half the hassle.
That's fair.
That's not what it says on the G.I. Joe Kickstarter.
But it's what I just said.
Or is it?
There's a G.I. Joe Kickstarter?
It's insane. They did hardcovers for the entire run of G.I. Joe comics, and you can get it in Cobra or G.I. Joe covers.
Oh no.
And you can buy a volume. I think it's 4 compendiums makes up the whole thing, but there is a Hiss Tank version where you can buy all 4 volumes in the G.I. Joe packaging, in the G.I. Joe box, and all 4 volumes in the Cobra packaging and the Cobra box. And it's like $3,000. It's insane. But they look beautiful, and it's every single issue of G.I. Joe from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, but can I just buy it on my Kindle?
They do sell PDFs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll eventually show up on Kindle.
It's the so Marvel's using in Kickstarter? What?
No, that's the other thing. I don't think it's Marvel. I think it's Skybound, because I think Skybound got all of the G.I. Joe rights from Marvel.
In the back catalog or something like that.
Yeah, because Skybound has the Hasbro license, which is how they're doing the Energon universe in Void Rivals, which is where they started mixing G.I. Joe and Transformers.
This is a trend we've seen on Kickstarter and some of the other angel investment sites, for lack of a better term, is that a lot of these comic companies now are like, oh, you want the entire collected edition? Like Gargoyles did it. Power Rangers did it. You want the entire hardcover run? Well, we're going to do it through Kickstarter, because that way they can say, well, we have to get to this number of orders or it's not going to happen.
Yep. And then that way also, I think it skirts around any problems you have with Diamond distributing it to comic book stores, and you just deliver it directly to your consumers. Because I think Mark Silvestri did it with the Darkness. I think they did like an Ultimate Edition of the Darkness. There might have been one for Cyberforce. A lot of the Image books have done it, but also I think it's also because Image is a much smaller publisher. Name-wise, name recognition, Image is huge, but they're not giant. They're not Marvel or DC still to this day. They don't have, a giant publishing warehouse, in Canada like those companies do. Image is still relatively small when it comes to company footprint size. They don't have, 10,000 employees.
Right, you are.
So yeah, you can do it through Kickstarter, and then that also gives you a solid number of, hey, we know exactly 12,000 people want this book. Well, let's print 12,000 of them. Then extras aren't sitting on shelves, taking up space, not making people money.
Yeah, I got tempted by some of the recent ones, but I'm like, I don't need to be buying more stuff to stack up my bookshelves right now. I need to clean some stuff out.
The top of my Kickstarter bookshelf is still covered with about, I'd say 80 books I haven't read yet. So I don't need any more Kickstarters. And everything underneath those that are actually on the shelves are all books I backed on Kickstarter. There are 2 full shelves of nothing but floppies, and the rest is varying sizes of hardcovers and trades. And there's a lot of them, 200 of them.
I bought a lot of Kickstarter craze.
Yeah, I bought a lot of Kickstarters over the years.
Yeah.
Now I am waiting for 2 new ones, but they're a Ninjon Special Edition wet palette, and a brand new Redgrass Games 360 painting handle with an extra big cap and 4 caps and little sticky stuff to put the guys on. It's all Warhammer
Sticky
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, it comes with sticky stuff.
Remind me later. We had a question for you in the Discord about some Warhammer stuff, but
nice.
I don't have Discord open right now. Someone had asked you. I think it was Haru Fonsex had asked you something specific. Bachman, not you. Willie. Apologies.
Oh no, I'm being a ventriloquist for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to speak for him?
Trying to work me like a puppet. Get your fingers out of there, Willie.
Willie, are you going to be the Jeff Dunham of the show now?
B says she only bought one Kickstarter, mine. Well, I don't know if that makes me sad or not because I had 2 Kickstarters.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there were 2. I vaguely remember doing 2.
Ethically first.
In all fairness, only one of them funded, the other one failed, which, hey, it happens. Also, that meant I didn't owe anybody anything. Hey-o, nobody got charged, and I didn't owe anybody anything. Because I did the Star Wars one first, yeah, and then like a year later I did the video game one.
Yeah, I think so.
It did not seem to get as much traction. People weren't as excited about a sketchbook full of video game characters as they were about the Star Wars one. Star Wars one did pretty good.
Yeah,
because I think I cleared over $1,000 and my original goal was 500, so it wasn't bad. I doubled my goal.
Not too shabby there. Yeah. Not too shabby at all.
I still got a stack of them here somewhere. There's like 10 extra Star Wars sketchbooks sitting around here, all full of my drawings.
Super limited edition at this point in time.
It's true. I think altogether, I printed 70, including the blank ones that I did sketch covers on.
I've still got mine.
I did individual one of a kind drawings for people that did the blank sketch cover ones.
Yep.
Those were fun.
They were. I enjoy it. I still leaf through it. But I'm looking over here. It is 8:34 p.m. my time. I think we have BS'd enough. And since it's 8:34, we'll go right into the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week part of the show. This is where we run down what's in our minds. It's the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the last week or so. Share with you fine folks watching live or listening / viewing at a later date. As per the usual, I'll probably kick things off just because I already got my stuff queued up.
Kick it!
I'm gonna. Do we want to start with the funnier one, or do we want to start with the WTF? How the hell did this one happen one?
Oh, WTF. Mark Maron, that shit.
All right. Well, so do you guys remember, it's probably been 2+ years ago when I talked about the Playdate gaming handheld on here. This was the little yellow handheld that had the fold out handle on the side that you could play video games on.
I wasn't sold on it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was very useful for me during the pandemic at that point in time because it was delivered while we were deep in the throes of the pandemic and it was something new and different to play. I enjoyed it. They have eventually gotten all of the devices shipped as they're supposed to. They're readily available, but I don't know if you had noticed it before, and we're going to reference a story I saw on Kotaku. The company's name is Panic. They created the Playdate. Well, earlier this year, they revealed they had a shipment containing more than 1,000 of the Playdate devices stolen. Nobody knew what happened to it. Several months later...
I know. They just kind of fell off the truck.
I mean, potentially, yes. Here's where it gets fun, though. Several months later, some internet sleuthing applied. They have found the vast majority of this rogue shipment after it was seemingly dumped on the pavement outside a random restaurant in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Are they going to bury them next to all the ET games?
I don't
think
so.
Those were redug up. So you can't bury them next to them because they were already dug up and given away.
The official Playdate account on Twitter had said, "Did you hear the story about $400,000 worth of Playdates were misdelivered by FedEx to a construction site near our warehouse?" And then somebody just stole them. Seriously. Well, guess what got hastily dumped at a random restaurant this morning? Welcome back, stolen Playdates. And I have here, I will screen share this. They have shared pictures of these coming back and then being like, what the hell is this?
So it was delivered to a construction site first, originally, got stolen, and now they're just returned. They just got shipped to this random restaurant.
They just showed up outside some random restaurant in Vegas.
Huh. So it's like someone saw a bunch of boxes sitting at a construction site. It wasn't in the construction site. So they're like, well, I can just grab those, tossed them all in a big ass truck or a van, got them home, opened up the box and get, what the fuck are, okay, I'm just going to go dump these. I don't want to get busted for, well, because I mean, how much is each unit?
Couple $100, $100. I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at that many boxes, you're talking at grand theft. So you're talking at serious jail time if they got caught and they realized that and went, maybe I'm just going to go dump these somewhere and not have them be found at my house.
That very well could be. And you can see there's a bunch of them stacked up by the entrance. And then here's another set of them. It's like they just dumped them out of a truck and took off, where they have literally tipped over these boxes and they are falling in the middle of the driveway. But yeah, boxes with 40 Playdate handhelds each in them, just sitting there. They appear to be still taped and sealed.
Yeah.
Even.
So if each one's $100, you're looking at $4,000 per box. That's a lot of jail time you're looking at right there if you got caught with those and you stole them. I mean, yeah, I would think someone took them all, didn't know what they were, just opened them to see, and went, oh shit, this is a lot of jail time if I get caught. I'm going to get rid of these.
So I think it's entertaining.
What would you even do with them anyway?
Try and sell them on eBay, but you'd get caught because I'm sure they put an insurance claim in. I'm sure all of the serial numbers of them are noted so that if one of them got activated, they could then be blacklisted, for lack of a better term, because it's stolen property. V has checked for us. They sell for $199 each.
Yeah, so you're definitely looking at grand theft right there if you were caught with all those. That's a lot of jail time. For just, I found some boxes at a construction site.
You didn't pay $200, did you?
I don't remember how much I paid, to be honest, for it. I honestly don't remember. I enjoyed it. It was a fun device. I haven't fired it up in a while, but I might need to, because now there's like independent games that you can go and buy or play for free on it. But the Playdate account did continue and say more details and likely a very good podcast episode in the future. For now, this was our best possible outcome. The results of lots of time and detective work. Which, okay, fine, we enjoyed. But the real question is...
It's a good podcast now.
You're the one that has a little hand crank on it, right?
Yeah.
Like for the fishing games. Okay, yeah, now I remember it.
They continue. The real question is, can we sell these as limited edition, Playdate Hot Edition, or something like that?
Sure, upcharge it and get your idiot fee, because somebody's going to be dumb enough to buy these things.
Well, there are people asking
Playdate, our parents left us in the parking lot edition.
There are people asking on Twitter, like, for instance, considering they've been written off inventory and paid out through insurance, what are the chances of them being sold at a discount? And Playdate replied, we haven't written them off of inventory yet. And we never filed an insurance claim. Okay, so there you go. Because otherwise it'd be insurance fraud. Also, and they said the company gets paid for them and then sells them again. That's illegal. They said we're not even sure our insurance would cover this. So you can imagine we're glad they're back. So if those boxes are in fact still sealed and it doesn't look like these have been sitting out in the elements, so if there's any kind of damage on them, in theory they've got $400K worth of inventory again. Then now they don't have to go and manufacture more as they sell things out of their store.
Listen, look at one of those Playdates and imagine if you just had another 1.5, you could have a PS5 instead. You tell me which one is better there. $200. $200. It's not even backlit. What is...
It's the nostalgia of the Game Boy. That's what it is. That's what they're
Let's see. There's some more comments.
They just like cranking one out.
As we record this episode right now, they're actually responding to people asking questions about it. And for instance, they say, wow, how does this happen? And the official account replied, let's just say we were closing in. So I think they might have had an idea of who had taken off with them. Another guy had followed up and said, how did this location become known to you all? Did someone call you, or were any of you driving down the street and go, whoa, there's our stuff? And the Playdate account has replied in one of those photos, that's our fulfillment warehouse in the background. So whoever took these dumped them at a restaurant under construction that's like right next to the fulfillment warehouse, arguably so that they would find them, but not necessarily notice them when they're taking it off of whatever vehicle they had them loaded in.
Yeah, because it could have looked like, oh, we're just dropping off supplies for the restaurant. It's like, oh no, we're actually dumping off stuff for that warehouse behind the restaurant, but we don't want the warehouse to see us doing this.
It looks like this is still very much under construction, this restaurant, because there's like the siding's not all the way on it. The door handles are still wrapped like bubble wrap, it looks like, on there. So it's just wild. The whole thing is wild.
Just buy a Switch. You get more enjoyment. Jesus Christ. It's
Really,
right at the same price point, isn't it?
Switch is more expensive, I think.
Probably what, $50 maybe?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily scratch the itch that people wanted to play this for, Willie. It was something unique, something different, and something that was kind of indie. It was fun.
Well,
I don't think it started. I don't think it was 200 when I got it. I want to say it was like 150, but I honestly don't remember. I'll check my email to look for the receipt here in a few, just because I'm curious.
Well, if anyone bought this for full price $199, I got bags of air that are exquisite air. Let me tell you. And I'm only charging $50 a bag, man. Come on. Yeah, they're little Ziploc bags you get at the grocery store, but I blow into it, zip it up, and sell it to you for $50. We got a deal, right?
According to this, I placed my order late July 2021, and I paid $179 for it. I got $179 worth of enjoyment out of it. Because remember, it also came with, they were doing a release schedule, and it came with like 20 or 25 games that were gradually released for free. Like every week or two, you got 2 new games that were sent to it. So it also included a 20 plus game library.
That's not bad.
And access to all their dev tools and stuff. So I enjoyed it. As V points out in the chat, Willie's so salty about the price.
Am I wrong?
Yes. So when has that ever stopped?
Don't yuck other people's yum.
Money. That's 100% worth the money then.
Look, it is to some people, and it may not be to others. Other people may have purchased it because they heard buzz about it, and then were underwhelmed with it. That's just the nature of the beast, though, when it comes to this stuff. Well, I mean, it wasn't just as simple as, I'm just going to crank in this one direction to do stuff. Like, and as V points out, 24 games came with it, so I was off a little bit there. Some of them were really fun and innovative uses of that handle. Some of them, it was just like, we're going to use the handle because it's a gimmick. And others were like, we're not using the handle. F that. We're just going to do a cool platformer that you use the D-pad and the A and B button for and have fun with it.
Now, if it was backlit, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with
that.
it.
That was the biggest flaw in it, I thought, when it came out. And I think I said it on the show when I talked about my initial impressions with it, is for the price, it should have been a backlit display. The display was pretty cool. It looked good. It was crisp. It's just there was no backlight.
Yeah, it's like the old school Game Boy days where, like, if you were in direct sunshine, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah. All right. So that was my news in the Playdate. I got one more short story. You guys remember when we talked about popcorn buckets on this show a little while back?
Oh, yeah.
No, I remember I was talking about fleshlights.
I mean,
yeah, the Dune 2 fleshlight. I mean, popcorn bucket.
We did spend like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe even talking about the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. How the hell did this get made? And how the hell did nobody
gonna fuck that bucket?
Someone already did by the time anybody saw it. We know it. You know it. There was a dick inside one before you even knew it existed.
Oh my!
Tell me I'm wrong.
I didn't say you're wrong.
Thank you. Wait,
I didn't say it.
Saying I'm right.
I won't say that either.
He didn't say you're wrong.
Oh, man, he said I was right by de facto.
Mm.
I mean, it's bound to happen at some point in time. All right, let's talk about another popcorn bucket here. I mean, I don't remember if we talked about it on this show or not, but when this whole Dune 2 popcorn bucket came up, there were some throwaway jokes, specifically some that come out from Ryan Reynolds of, if you guys think that's funny, wait until you see what we're going to do. Then I think Kevin Feige at one of the Marvel press events had kind of laughed and said, we have plans to do something for Wolverine and Deadpool. Well, they did it. They did it. You can now get a Wolverine popcorn bucket. They put a YouTube video out about it. They're showing video footage here of butter drizzling down Wolverine's face. But how this works is effectively a Wolverine head with his mouth wide open that you reach into to grab your popcorn out of the bucket.
So I got a name for it. The Gawk 9000.
Oh, dear Lord.
That's the Wolverine fleshlight is what it is.
Yeah. Evidently, Ryan Reynolds took to social media on Thursday to unveil the bucket. There is a YouTube video that Ryan Reynolds did in fact post that is the whole release video of
He's
this
the
bucket.
best at what he does. And what he does is hold popcorn.
It's even got a tongue it just showed in there when you reach into Wolverine's mouth.
Oh,
Why does it have a
censored my
tongue?
line, by the way. It's
Because this is designed to weird you out. See, there's a tongue on the bottom of it. I don't know what Wade is saying here as they show this off. And the bucket body says designed by Deadpool on it.
He's booping on those going naughty. I don't know for real because I can't hear, but that's probably one.
Probably.
Naughty.
Oh, this is. I mean, they keep saying that they're like super excited about what like Disney basically let them get away with making this movie.
It's Weapon
like,
XXX.
There you go. It's Weapon Triple X. Did they really run this by the Disney executives? Like, for our first rated R superhero movie, we're gonna put out a popcorn bucket that's a fleshlight.
So no, this was
Like,
this was approved. The implication is this was approved because remember, they've got the quote in this article on IO9 saying, quote, back at CinemaCon 2024, popcorn buckets were the talk of the town, and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige promised that Deadpool would design something for theaters. I do think this is probably less disgusting than the Dune 2 bucket, but does hit a nice balance of, wait, do I hate this or do I love it?
I don't know. Listen. It was the correct plan. If you wanted to make money, Disney, this was the right call to make. People are weird. People love being weird. This is it.
But also, here's the other thing. This is only the first popcorn bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I can't wait to see if there's a Deadpool specific one and what it's like.
I mean, it's not going to be a head.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well,
it's gonna be
we already have Wade's head. Like, they already sold us that.
Like how I'm in the butthole?
Oh, God.
Oh, dear Lord.
I'm just saying, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. And we have a Wolverine popcorn bucket, but I'm betting there's probably going to be another one announced.
And it's going to be his ass with a bullet wound coming out of it, and that's where you stick your hand in.
They have not said anything. They haven't said anything at this point in time about if there is another one coming out or when it will. But when July rolls around, we do know for a fact you'll be able to get this Wolverine popcorn bucket somewhere. It hasn't been announced whether this is exclusive to certain theaters or only certain theater chains are going to have this popcorn bucket. So you may have to decide whether you want to go to Regal or Hollywood cinemas, depending on, or AMC, depending.
Also, depending where it's at. It'll be sold out by July, because if the movie's in the middle of July, they'll start selling the popcorn bucket June 5th.
Yeah,
and they'll be sold out June 7th.
Look, let's be honest.
Before the movie opens,
there's a lot of buzz.
Popcorn buckets are.
There's a lot of buzz for this movie, so tie-ins like this are going to happen, and there's a lot of people that are putting a lot of faith in this to be the movie that saves the cinemas for the summer. And I don't know if anything's going to quite do that, but. Yeah,
listen,
there's a lot of
cheap bitch though. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get the Dune bucket. I'm just gonna buy a separate Wolverine mask and put it over the Dune bucket and shove my whole fucking fist down there and make out with it. And people are gonna be like, "Yeah, it's normal."
I mean, it's normal in some places.
9,000, baby.
That's what you want to do.
At least the Dune one has is textured for your pleasure.
Well, we don't know how textured the Logan tongue is in this. We just know that there is a tongue.
It's like this.
We don't know how far that extends into the bucket itself. Who knows?
It's got to have room for your hand. Otherwise, it's a fucking Pringles can, my man.
Look, people are buying this for the novelty effect, not because it holds the most popcorn. Let's be honest here.
No. Yeah. People are buying it to put it in a place.
On their shelf in their media rooms, they can show it off.
It's got a tongue, men and women, baby. And you telling me the Deadpool fucking butt one isn't a good idea? Are you telling me not everyone wants to smack Ryan Reynolds' ass?
So
fuck out of here.
Caveat here, everyone. Willie keeps mentioning a Deadpool one that doesn't officially exist so far as we know. This is Willie making a guess that one was coming.
No, Disney, send me my check. There's your great fucking idea. Hire me for more great ideas if you want money.
I wouldn't put it past him already having it in production. Like, and Willie's not wrong, because if I remember correctly, in Deadpool 1, he gets shot up the ass with a bullet and says right up the Hershey Highway.
Yeah, but all right, guys, there's a difference between what you can get away with in a rated R movie versus what you're selling in a movie theater for people to put popcorn in.
Is there? Because they just sold a Wolverine fleshlight. So
No, the Dune bucket. Let's go back to the original. You telling me? Okay. That wasn't even supposed to be pornographic, but
yeah, this one's at least on purpose, so it's funny.
Well, the other one was funny too because it wasn't on purpose.
Well,
the other one was funny because they didn't realize what they unleashed, and the internet went, "Wait, are you serious?"
That we know of.
Yeah, somebody knew. No one admitted.
Fair.
Somebody knew. No one admitted. Then you knew what you did. You knew it. You knew what you did. You dirty dog.
Yeah, you know it, and we know what you stuck in it.
But that does wrap up my 2 quick news stories here. I'm glad we got to have a nice diversion here, going what the fuck back to back.
double Mark Maron.
A double WTF.
Indeed.
We're gonna follow that up by talking about some killer clowns. What do you think about that, Willie?
It must be
bonk it on the nose.
So, yep. So myself, and I pre-ordered the Killer Klowns from Outer Space video game. Now, me just being a simple Southerner here, I enjoyed the movie growing up. It was always enjoyable. I didn't see this game before it came out doing all that great, but it had a soft spot for me. I was going to get it regardless because I know it was made by the same people who did Friday the 13th. More on that later, but I still wanted to get it, and I have been so far enjoying it. I haven't got a lot of time with it because it came out Tuesday at noon. Why Tuesday at noon? I don't know. That's when the servers went live. But so I haven't got too far into it. There's definitely a progression system where you unlock more characters and classes as you go. So I only have access to the first default clown. And I did unlock a second human character, which has more stamina but does less damage. It plays a lot like Friday the 13th, but better. Because you're always doing something. Yes, you are checking things a lot. Like, well, this case, it's like coolers instead of drawers.
Yeah, the first question is this checking drawers at the carnival?
You're checking coolers, but you're also more proactive in things like clowns. You have to be wary of survivors because they can beat you down and knock you in the nose and kill you, and you're down for 40 seconds.
Nice.
I did win my first match as a human, just straight up ran through, and I was just jetted out of there and won. I was so happy. I think it was because no one knew what to do. It's not like I knew what to do. I was trying to figure it out myself. But it's still a little there still needs to be some more map knowledge I need to gain because I still don't know where a lot of things are on the map where they can spawn in and at. But I've been going through. Being clowns also fun too because you get a little gun, you shoot people to build up their cocoon, their cotton candy cocoon meter, and when that gets full, they get to a cocoon, and then you can pick them up, hook them on a little thing that generates little minions. And they're still yelling out in there until they die because another survivor can actually come and get them out of the cotton candy cocoon before they die, and they're just back out in the match. But if they die, you can get resurrected, I think, one time at a resurrection machine. It resurrects everyone who's dead. So if you die after that gets used, you're fully out. But you do have a chance to come back in before that. So it is a little bit better than Friday the 13th. Like, I'm having a lot more fun in it than I ever did in Friday the 13th. Like, a lot more. It is, I guess I have passed by some parts of it. It is asymmetrical. They're so close together. Asymmetrical multiplayer game. There's 3 players that are the clowns, and there's 7 people as survivors humans.
3v7.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of stressful running around as a clown. It's not easy to get the people if they because they are faster than you 100%. They're faster than you as a clown, but it's always but if you get someone down with your melee weapon and not your cotton candy gun, you can do what's known as a clownality, which is kind of like a Mori in Dead by Daylight, but it kind of goes by faster, and you can do it as soon as you get someone down because they can get resurrected later if that happens. But so far I have the first 4 unlocked because they're the default ones you get out of the gate. There's one where you pie someone just like in the movie. There's one where you pull out a balloon sword and you stab them right through the stomach with it.
Ooh.
There's one where you just grow gigantic and you stomp them with your big clown shoe, and I can't remember the other one. Oh, my brain is gonna hate it. Oh, I can't think of it. But yeah, because I haven't been able to do it that often, so I can't remember. And you do unlock more as you gain levels. That doesn't look like a clown, but it does look like a goose from outer space.
It's a killer cat from outer space right there.
Cat with a K?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Shoot it in the nose.
But that is the thing that is survivors are dangerous to clowns because they can have melee weapons, and you also have a health bar as a clown too. And when that gets depleted, you sit down on the ground. And if they have another hit with their weapon, they hit you in the nose. You spin around and pop out in your 40 seconds till you can spawn back in. So there's one less clown. I'm not gonna lie, I had a clown match where they killed all 3 of us at once.
Oh no!
Oh dang!
So it was good 40 seconds with no clowns. Survivors got to do anything they wanted. We still killed.
So the match keeps going even if all 3 clowns are dead. They're just all on respawn timers.
Yeah, the only thing that matters is if all the survivors live or die. That's the other timer. There's also a timer too that's also going. I can't remember how long it is. Is it 10 minutes or 15 minutes? I want to say 15 minutes because that's how long Friday the 13th was. But once you're down to 30 seconds, the shoot, what are those brothers called in the ice cream truck? Tinsian?
Smothers?
Tinsian? Starts with a T and has a Z in it.
I can't remember it either.
They show up on the map at some random spot, and you have 30 seconds to get to them. That's your last chance of escape.
Yeah, because they crash the ice cream truck through the wall, right? Of whatever map you're on.
There's multiple different spots they can spawn in at, but it is at the edge of the map.
Okay.
And as soon as you get there, you can just run out and you escaped. But the clowns also know where it's at, so they can also. And so far, the only abilities for clowns I've seen, you do get access to more as you progress up. But the only 3 default ones I have are clown jump, which you see them do in the movie, like, where they jump straight up in the air. But it's like a teleport thing, kind of like Jason did, but it's done like jumping, and then you come back down wherever on the map where you want to. A thing where you can run around faster. You get your health, like it's like a health regen, stamina regen, and kind of move around faster while it's active for a short amount of time. And a hypnotizing one, if you remember from the movie, where the one clown is outside that big top burger and just he's doing the finger come hither. That's a thing you can do also in the game where you get them, and the survivor has to mash X to kind of X on a PlayStation to kind of snap out of it and run away again. But till you do, you're kind of just stuck there, and they can just wallop on you. So that's the thing. But yeah, so far in my short playtime, I had a lot of fun. I'm going to continue having a lot of fun. It's just kind of depending upon how many people get the game that I play with and have fun with. It's kind of depending upon how it goes.
So question for you.
Go for it.
Is this a game that if, say, I bought on my Xbox and you were playing on your PlayStation, we could play together?
That's a weird question for one reason. Because in this day and age, what doesn't have cross-gen play?
I never know anymore just because of weird.
That's fair. It does have cross-gen play. Or not cross-gen, not cross-gen, that's wrong.
Can I get it on my Playdate handheld?
No.
Okay. How about my Nintendo Switch? Can I get it there?
I think it's only on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Oh, it's going to be on both series. If you're on the series line.
Well, I'm saying both of them. I'm not specifying which one. I'm saying both of them. Like, just That's why I said XS. I know it's the series is the right word, but god damn it. I think it's only on current gen systems, I believe. I guess technically Switch is technically a current gen system.
Technically, yes. Switch 2 has not been announced or released yet.
I mean, even though it came, whatever, it's whatever at this point. It's a moot point. But yeah,
Like
I
a
give it a
cow's
thumbs up
opinion.
so far. I'm having a lot of fun as humans or clowns. And yeah, I would say try it out if you want to. Watch some gameplay if you're interested and see if that's something you would want to do.
Yeah, I want to go check out some Twitch streams on it because that's what got me interested in like the Friday the 13th one and things like that.
Or you could just get on the fucking PS5 and get in a party chat with me. I could just stream it straight to you with share screen. Like,
Or I could get
like
on the
this guy
PS5
asked.
and Willie could stream it to me on the
Yeah.
share stream on PS5.
You got most of the words right. I'm
That
proud
was
of you.
close enough.
You know, I've watched some Polyester was playing on the beta before it went live, which was pretty funny. And then Hybrid Panda was playing late last night. I saw some of his live stream of it. But yeah, it looked pretty interesting. Some of the stuff. It looks like one of the biggest differences, I mean, just DVD versus any other asymmetrical, is that it looks like the survivors in this one can vault and the killers can't. Clowns cannot like go over any type of railing,
Well, yeah.
anything that like basically they're big solid characters that have to move around stuff versus being able to jump over things.
I
But,
haven't
yeah,
really
you have to
come across where
differentiate
that's
your
an
game.
issue, though.
Yeah,
It might
but it's
later
something where
on.
it's like, yeah, you got to find stuff that makes it different from the game that you're going to be compared to, and that's a huge difference. Like the survivors can move in a way that the clowns can't. Which I don't know. It seems like it's it's good for cutting off routes. Get away from them cotton candy guns. And things are vicious.
Yeah, but yeah, I give the game a thumbs up so far. It's fun, dumb fun. It already had me with Killer Clowns from Outer Space, so hopefully this means a sequel that won't be dumb coming up. But that's just me.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I got the original directors with it, the Chiodo brothers, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
I think it's the ones who made the first the movie.
Yeah, the Chiodo brothers.
Oh, the clowns look like clowns, 100%.
Yeah. That part is awesome. Yeah, the clowns, the cotton candy sacks that they put you in, all the weapons, the art team did great. Yeah, without having played it, just seeing what I've seen, it looks directly from that universe. It is a total callback to that movie, and it shows like the art team had a lot of love for that movie.
Oh, and also in the crossbar or whatever they call it on the PlayStation 5, the crossbar menu, when you just hover over the icon of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game, it does play the original song from the movie by the Dickies. That song it's amazing.
Nice. That's cool.
With the lyrics and everything. Killer Clowns by the Dickies.
Well, Willie, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad it's a good game.
And if anyone's wondering, last time I checked a couple of years ago, that song was on Spotify. You're welcome.
Nice.
But that's what I got for Killer Clowns.
Well, Willie, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I look forward to hearing more about it in the coming weeks because I'm sure you'll be getting plenty of playtime in.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed, at least. All right. Before we kick things over to Bachman for his news, I did tease we had a question from the audience in the Discord, so I apologize. Yeah. It took me 5 days to notice it was there, Haru Fonzix. I apologize, but you were asked Bachman directly, will you be picking up any of the Secret Lab Warhammer collection they announced?
I will not, because I'm sitting in a $1,500 Herman Miller chair, and I absolutely love it. And to be honest, I mean, I think, Chris, is your Secret Lab?
Mine is Secret Lab.
Okay, so I do know now for a fact that they do make chairs big enough for me, but every time I've seen one, like at like a computer store, they're designed for people that are 5'8", and like I sit down on them and like the headrest comes up to here, and I'm like, who are these midget chairs for?
So for reference, I'm in my Secret Lab chair right now. If I lean back, my head is pretty well, let me turn.
Hitting where it's supposed to?
Hitting where it's supposed to. And this pillow backrest thing is magnetic, so I can move it wherever I want on there. So I've actually got it positioned just right. So when I lean back, it's right in the neck where I want it to be, and you're like, oh, this is comfy.
Yeah, so my problem is that every time I've seen a Secret Lab chair like out like in a store or at a computer place where they have them all sitting, they always have just the tiny ones, which for people that are 5'8", 5'10", it makes sense. I'm 6'1", so I have a size B Herman Miller, which is built for slightly larger people. This chair, like I was doing 8 to 10 hours a day, sometimes 12, 13-hour days for Alaska, sitting in this chair, and my back never hurt. So I can't sit in anything else. Like I have to say it. Like I roll my Herman Miller over to paint miniatures. I roll it back over here to I'm cataloging comics right now. Then I sit here and do the podcast. I could sit in this chair for 10 hours and it doesn't hurt my back. So like I have nothing against the Secret Lab chairs. I had never sat in one that's full size. I do think the one that they released, the Ultra Marine ones I saw that they did in the Drop Pod video, it looks cool as hell. If I wanted to get another chair, I might look at that one. But yeah, at this point, I've got a chair that's got me pretty well handled for a while. I don't think this sucker's gonna. I think this thing's gonna outlast my current car. So yeah, I'm good for a chair for a while.
I'm sorry. Is it Herman Miller, the tippy top of the line, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, these are.
Yeah,
I
don't want a car seat. I want a fucking office chair that feels great.
Herman Miller and steel case are honestly. The only reason I got my Secret Lab is my dad had one that I usually sit in when I go home and visit my parents, and it was comfortable. I liked the way it felt. So I knew that if I got one of my own, it would not be problematic. But I will fully admit, they're not for everyone because it has a bit of a firmer seat than some people like. I like the fact it's a bit of a firmer foam that I sit on, and I've got it dialed in just right for back support and stuff like that right now. So it's really comfortable for me. If I was doing it again, I'd probably get, the steel case Leap is what I was looking at, because you can buy remanufactured ones that are in really good shape for a decent price, but I don't need another office chair right now. When I got pivoted to working from home during the pandemic and then pretty much stayed working from home, this was my gift to myself, because my crappy little Serta office chair that I'd bought at Office Depot was just worn the hell out. Like I sat in it and the padding was so worn out that as soon as I sat, like my thighs were resting on the plywood because there's no padding left anymore.
Yeah.
So
before
I
bought this
earlier,
one,
guys,
I was throwing away like my third
touch on his backside.
I do.
Yeah. Before I got this, I was throwing away like my third like Staples chair in a row that I bought in like 5 years. Because those things just wear down so much for a couple $100 at a time. Yeah, it was something where literally I weirdly heard about it because of Scotty Young, who does Stupid Fresh Mess. If you don't know the name, you would know him from doing all the Baby Marvels. He's the guy that invented the Baby Marvel covers and did all the Baby X-Men, Baby Thanos. He's done probably a variant cover for almost everything with Marvel. He just did I Hate Fairyland with Image, but he's like 6'4", I think. And he said one of the worst things he ever did, because he sat at an art desk, 14, 16 hours a day, sometimes trying to, be a professional comic book artist, doing pages, trying to get, those hours in. And his back was like one of the worst things he had to deal with until he got a Herman Miller chair, because he found it was the first chair he found. And I think at the time he said he spent like $3,000 on his. Because they were because it was somewhere, I think originally they were you could only buy them if you were like an office supply manager at a company. Because it was JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, is where every worker got a Herman Miller chair, and that's where the name started going around. And Scotty Young was the first person I heard of that had one in their house, and he bought one to sit at his art desk and draw all day. And being a super tall guy, it was something where he needed something where he could sit in a full-size chair that held a bigger person and lean over on an art table all day and not kill his back. And I want to say in he used to have a podcast with his wife 15 years ago. And I think he said in one of the episodes that he spent $3,000, $3,500 on his chair at the time, because they were even more expensive back then. And he said it was the best investment he ever made because his back stopped hurting. And so, since then, as cool as the Secret Lab chairs look, I paid for this Herman Miller. I sold my condo. I bought this Herman Miller chair, and I bought my $1,200 Lazy Boy. I spent $3,000 on 2 chairs. I'm kind of hoping that I have them till I die, because I spent $3,000 on 2 chairs. It's ridiculous, but they're both super comfy.
Yeah, they're well worth having. If you're going to be working from home or working from your desk a lot, it makes more sense, at least to me, to buy a nicer chair that I'm not replacing every 2 or 3 years as it wears out. That'll last. That's sort of why I made this investment. And my hope is that I've been using it for 3 or 4 years now, and I had a warranty issue, and they FedExed me parts within like 3 days. And it was just because I had a squeak that was really annoying the hell out of me, and they replaced like the whole bottom assembly of the chair to fix it. So they did well by me.
Nice. Yeah, I've never had a problem with the Herman Miller, and I know for a fact that Lazy Boy here in Boise, when I bought my chair, they used to have like 100% parts and service guarantee, and now it's just 100% parts guarantee. So like for the life of your chair, if something breaks, you let us know what it is, we will send you the part. So I would just have to replace it myself, but I'm fine with that. Like it's a recliner. It's not like brain surgery. Like it's got a handle and a couple springs. But yeah, I was like, okay, lifetime guarantee, $1,200 on a recliner. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't had any issues with the Herman Miller. Like, yeah, this thing's a tank.
That's our brief aside to answer the Discord question. Let me toss things to you, Bachman, for your news. What do you got in that front?
Oh, right. We got a couple of pieces of good news. I don't know if you guys had heard, they did announce we have a name. So the third Knives Out film, which I guess unfortunately because of the contract with Netflix, like the movie has to have Knives Out in the title, which I guess Ryan Johnson's not really happy with. But they have announced we are going to get Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, which will be the next Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc mystery coming out with Netflix. And they made an announcement that they have added Jeremy Renner to the cast, which is going to be his first film since he got run over by a snowplow and basically like crushed. So yeah, it's kind of cool that we're getting, a superhero and just awesome. It's just an awesome cast. And it's good to see Jeremy Renner's, physically back into like the shape that he'll be able to do a movie, and he's feeling that he can do that and commit to it. They've also he's joining previously confirmed cast members Glenn Close, Andrew Scott, Kerry Washington, Josh O'Connor, and Kaylee Spaney in the forthcoming film. And then Ryan Johnson, of course, will be writer director. And then we got his producer is Ram Bergman. So we're getting the third film, which, I mean, it's more Knives Out. I don't know how you can go wrong with that. Like Glass Onion was awesome. Knives Out itself was a fantastic film. I don't know. I'll watch Benoit Blanc films forever. Like just keep making them. Ryan Johnson could do one every 5 years. I'm good with it. Hell, Benoit Blanc could become the new James Bond. When you're done with James Bond, you retire from that role, you become Benoit Blanc. And then you do 10 Benoit Blanc films, and you retire from that, and someone else. And then we get, Aaron Taylor Johnson goes from James Bond, and he does like Knives Out 7. Like, that'd be cool.
Well, I think, isn't this third one the last one on the deal Ryan Johnson has with Netflix? I can't remember.
I believe so. Yeah. This is, I think it was a 3-picture deal for the Knives Out stuff. And so, yeah, let's see if it says it in just reading the Hollywood Reporter one. While murder mysteries yet to be disclosed setting, feature, eccentric, set to begin production soon. Yeah, so the initial hit, 310 million worldwide box office. Netflix paid more than 450 million for a pair of sequels. Yeah, so Netflix paid $450 million for 2 follow-up films to Knives Out, which I think is, that was the thing where Ryan Johnson ended up not being too happy because apparently he didn't read the contract well, and he didn't realize that he had to have the term Knives Out in each of the following titles, which is kind of weird when you're just doing a murder mystery and the only thing continuing is the detective, because it should be like Knives Out, a Benoit Blanc mystery. And then the next one could have been Glass Onion, a Benoit Blanc mystery. But instead, now we got Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. So yeah, it's just kind of weird that you have the first movie continuing in the title of the other ones, even though it has nothing to do with the first film, really, other than a continuing character. But it's a small thing, and if that's the one gripe I have about the Knives Out films, I ain't mad at them because damn, they're entertaining. It's been a while. Like I'm about ready to go. I should probably watch Glass Onion again. I love Dave Bautista in that movie. He's freaking hilarious. That guy has become such a good actor. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so we got one superhero there, and then on the other side, there was just a rumor article So it just came out on May 30th from Aaron Couch, also from The Hollywood Reporter. But apparently, Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, is in talks to lead the G.I. Joe, and they put hyphen, I don't know, I think it's / Transformers crossover movie for Paramount and Hasbro. So it would be the follow-up to what was teased at the end. If you didn't watch the last sequence in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, at the end of that movie, which I think might be my favorite Transformers movie, because weirdly, they made the good version of the G.I. Joe super suit from the first G.I. Joe movie where the super suits kind of sucked because they turned a Transformer into a super suit for a guy, basically, in the Rise of the Beast movie. But I don't know, it worked. Like, it just, I don't know. It was just better done. I don't know how to put it. It just, the first G.I. Joe movie hurt. Like, it was just so not good. And, you know, as a kid, like, I mean, 1983, I was 5 years old. Like, He-Man and G.I. Joe are my bag. I was the kid they were selling toys to. And so I really wanted the first, like, really, like, live action G.I. Joe movie to work. And sequel helped a little bit, but still, But what we've got now is at the end of the Rise of the Beast, they basically offered the kid who is the star of that movie like a pass into G.I. Joe. And so in the films, they're doing what Robert Kirkman kind of snuck onto people with when he launched the comic book Void Rivals, that people didn't realize was actually, I mean, it's like the comic book version of a backdoor pilot. The characters in Void Rivals live in what is now known as the Energon universe, which is a comic book universe in which the Transformers and G.I. Joe and Cobra exist in the same world. And so Hasbro has done a bunch of deals with Skybound. And so you have a comic series now where you have G.I. Joes and Transformers coexisting with other alien races as humans, all in the same comic book. And apparently Robert Kirkman just got to take all the toys that he loved as a kid and just play with them, and he's having a blast. You know, kind of like Johnny Favs and Dave Filoni at Star Wars. He's just over there, you know, banging his action figures together, and Kirkman's loving it. He's having a great day. And so now it looks like Paramount wants to follow up, and they're looking at doing the same thing with the movies. And so then, you know, there's really nothing in the article other than, you know, Hemsworth did a voice for Transformers 1 that's coming up in September 20th. And, you know, the last movie, they teased the crossover movie. It says they worked for about 2 years to basically get everybody to step forward with it. So it looks like it's definitely something that's going to be possible. My only question then for you guys is, so if we go forward, we get the G.I. Joe Transformers movie, who's Hemsworth going to play? Is this our new Duke? Is this like the start of G.I. Joe?
I mean, if you don't want to be beholden to all the stuff that came before, you could make Hemsworth be Duke. He's got the look to be, I know Hemsworth is Australian, but the all-American classic soldier that Duke was supposed to be.
I mean, well, if you want the real answer?
Well, if you've seen the Extraction movies, that's kind of who he is. He's a special ops badass.
He's going to be Bruce Willis. He's going to be Joe himself.
No, the original Joe. Yeah, definitely possible.
Because wasn't that Bruce Willis in the second G.I. Joe movie?
Yeah, he's like, he's the original Joe.
Original Joe.
Yeah, which was kind of cool. All right, it's Bruce Willis. How can you? But he's the everyman. He is the everyman.
Don't get me started, and you won't hear no troubles. Don't get me started on Bruce Willis and what I've heard of how he acts on movies.
Oh, who cares?
Me. You started this. Don't make me end it.
I love Bruce Willis.
I don't think anyone should be taking shots at Bruce Willis right now.
Yeah.
I don't care. You act like that. I don't. Just because you're in a bad position now, don't mean you weren't a jackass back then.
But yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm just trying to think of another role like outside of like Duke or even maybe the original Joe, like if they would come up with a new character for him, or if he would play, like just one of the classic G.I. Joes. Because
he's going to be the ultimate Norwegian soldier.
Norwegian soldier. I don't know. Would it be funny if they just really throw back to the old school and make him the new Sergeant Slaughter?
Jeez.
Put him in a flat brim hat, a black tank top, whistle. How cool would that be?
Are we doing the Hulk Hogan movie?
That's still talked about, but nothing's happening with it.
Yeah, to be fair, I hope nothing happens with it unless they are going to address the racism and all the bad shit too.
Hogan's a bit problematic.
I think that movie's going to disappear. Yeah.
He's about a 24-inch problem is what I'm hearing.
Two 24-inch problems.
2 24-inch pythons, brother.
Yeah,
tell you something.
I think that movie's straight up going to disappear. But no, as you know, just it's conjecture at this point. They're in talks to do it, so nothing's been signed, nothing's been confirmed. But I don't know. It took them like 13 films to finally give us a Bumblebee that looked like Bumblebee in the Bumblebee Transformer movie. It took like 9 films of the Transformer movies before Optimus actually finally looks like Optimus. It looks like a truck. It's not just giant shiny metal bashing against shiny metal like the first 4 films where you can't tell who's fighting what.
At least he always sounded like Optimus.
No, the voice was great. The voice is great. You can't nothing wrong with there. But yeah, the visuals just they took a lot to improve. But yeah, it was one of those ones like I did not see Rise of the Beast in the theaters. I was not excited for it. I finally watched it on Netflix. I was like, damn, this is a good movie. Like it was actually really entertaining. Maybe low expectations helps a little bit, but
yeah,
it was super fun. Yeah, it was a super fun flick. And I'm trying to remember, is it Turturro that's in it? I can't remember the returning character. I think John Turturro returns in that one as well, if I remember correctly. I need to check because I'm not positive, but like it was super funny and they had a lot of really good stuff in it, which I mean, that's what you want in a Transformers movie besides just, robots fighting robots. But yeah, they had some good stuff. And just, I'm looking forward to it. Rise of the Beast was fun. If they can keep going in that direction, but then also add in G.I. Joes, hell yeah.
So
why not?
Are the Transformers just AI or are they actually sentient?
They are sentient. Yeah, they have souls.
Well, we don't have souls, so what? That's my opinion. My opinion.
I sold mine to become internet famous. It's working out real well.
Need a refund.
When are you going to be internet famous?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to ride on your coattails, motherfucker.
As soon as the soul clears, I guess it's still held up in customs.
God damn it!
It's tied up with the Forbidden Donut.
It must have been a previous one I was looking at because Turturro's not showing in the cast for Beast Wars, so I think I'm confusing multiple Transformers. There's been like 9 of them. Give me a break. And all their titles make no sense.
There's more than 4.
Yeah,
there's a bucket and a half of Transformers movies.
I gotta stop watching them.
Rise of the Beast was actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they add G.I. Joes into that. I'll watch it. Because like I said, in Rise of the Beast, you basically get the G.I. Joe power suit that they had in the first G.I. Joe movie that was awful. But it's done well because it's a Transformer protecting a human, and he basically turns himself into a suit around the kid. It's kind of cool. And then the kid kicks ass. So, I mean, that also makes a huge difference other than Shawn Wayne's putting on a super suit and running through a wall because he's an idiot.
The kid is the soul of the robot.
Maybe.
That's how Five Nights at Freddy's happened.
Which is also getting a sequel. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. If they give me Hemsworth as a Joe, all right, I'll watch it. That's a movie.
Joe.
I'd probably hit the theater to see that. Which I mean, these days that's what they're trying to do. Still, most of the time, is get people in the theater. So you give me G.I. Joe versus, it's at least half the hassle.
It's funny you mentioned the movie theater. That ties very nicely into what I'm into, or a chance to share with you fine folks what we've been getting into, doing, etc. One of the things I've been getting into is I went to the movies over Memorial Day weekend.
What? You left the house?
I did. I went and saw Furiosa.
Oh, yeah.
And I enjoyed it, but evidently not a lot of people went and saw Furiosa. As for a Memorial Day weekend, I think it had one of the lowest opening box offices for Memorial Day weekend new release, which is kind of a bummer because I thought it was a fun and enjoyable movie. And had Hemsworth, he was ridiculous in it, of course, as the warlord that was in it. And I had a lot of fun watching the movie. I enjoyed it. And I walked away going, why aren't people going to go see this? I think I went and saw it either Saturday or Sunday night, and there were maybe 15 people in the theater. And I was sitting there, I was going, what's everyone seeing? And I saw a lot of stuff on threads about people well, I wanted to go see the Planet of the Apes movie that's still in theaters. And Planet of the Apes had, since it was in less screens, had fuller theaters, it seemed like.
Oh, damn.
Over the weekend in a lot of places. People were complaining they couldn't get good seats to Planet of the Apes. And I was like, really? And then that's not me shitting on the Planet of the Apes movie because it looks interesting. It's something I'll probably watch when it comes to streaming. But
It's
I
also
was
been
like,
out for like 3 weeks.
yeah, it's been out for a bit. And I was like, I could have sworn that Furiosa would have done better. And it didn't, which is kind of a bummer. I guess the nice thing about going to go see that one, though, is I did get the PSA from Wolverine and Deadpool about turning off your cell phones in the movie theater, and it's legit hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, I knew I'd seen this Hollywood article. I didn't want to bring it as like the news of the week, but yeah, it said box office meltdown, Furiosa edged past Garfield to win the Memorial Day weekend with the worst #1 opening in 3 decades. So it's a 29-year low for the #1 movie on Memorial Day. So the summer blockbusters, they're not back to where they were yet.
Yeah, I touched on it earlier in the show, and I'm not joking when I say it. A lot of the hopes to save the summer are tied up into a rated R superhero comedy in Wolverine and Deadpool from Disney. I mean, this is not me saying that Deadpool won't be successful. There's lots of people that are talking about how excited they are to see it, things like that. But if you had told me this, say 5-10 years ago, that the summer box office was riding on Wolverine and Deadpool by Disney, a rated R superhero movie, I'd be like,
yeah,
what are you smoking, dude? There's no way that's ever going to happen.
Wait, how long ago would you say this?
10.
He said 10
No, not 10.
Yeah.
Before pre-Iron Man, I would see you saying that.
I mean, 10 years ago, 20th Century Fox was still its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and not owned by Disney.
Yeah, but Disney also didn't own Star Wars either.
They did in 2014. Willie, Episode 7 came out in 2015.
I know. I guess.
So they owned Star Wars in 2014.
They bought it around that time, yeah.
So I'm saying once Star Wars happened, Fox was an option.
Well, fair. Yeah, it's just it is weird to see the #1 movie be an all-time low for almost 30 years.
And it's
a George Miller movie, which the Mad Max films are awesome. Like the guy makes crazy epic, desert movies.
And it's not like it's a bad movie. That's the thing. Like a lot of people are trying to write it off. It's like, I guess Furiosa is not that good. And then of course you've got the dipshits like, female-led movie. Ha ha ha. We win again. I'm like, shut up, dudes. You guys are full of shit. But it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's got fun practical effects. It's a George Miller film where shit just goes wild on screen. And it's a blast. And I was sitting there, I was like, it's going to get painted with a brush of being a bad movie because of the poor box office performance. But the poor box office performance isn't indicative of the quality of the movie. We're just in that weird behavior right now where, and I get it, where people are like, nah, I'm just going to wait until I can stream it. And we've seen it with, what was the Emily Blunt in Ryan Ken from
Fall
Barbie.
Guy.
Yeah, Fall Guy. Like it was in the theaters for 2 weeks and now it's on streaming. You can rent it digitally.
Why we gotta remake a bad, shitty show? Why can't we remake BJ and the Bear? A man and his monkey. What could be better than that? That's a callback to Mallrats, you uncultured swine, Bachman.
That is awesome. And Chris is right about the theater, though, because I think there were 8 people at the screening that me and Jana went and saw. There was like 6 people behind us in the rest of the theater when we went and saw Fall Guy. So it was almost like seeing like a private screening. It was damn near empty.
Here's where we are with it now. Movie theater tickets are expensive. I bought a ticket for myself and my wife. That was $14 each. We bought some snacks that we brought in with us up from elsewhere. Man. Well, we were going in the evening with some friends. But my point is, or I can do with that the stunt guy film, rent it for $20 for the 2 of us, watch it in the comfort of our own home. If someone has to pee, I go, cool, hit the pause button, go use the bathroom. Nobody misses anything. If you want to go get a fresh soda out of the fridge, pause it and not miss anything. There's a lot to be said for watching these movies in the comfort of my own home. I don't think I have the greatest home theater in the world, but it's pretty good for watching movies. And I don't have to deal with idiots that ruin the experience when I'm there either.
Yeah, dipshit kids that think it's okay to be on their phone during movies. I'm sick of throwing popcorn at people. That's one of the reasons I sit in the front 3 rows now, is because I kept getting dirty looks. And like I used to like to sit in the back row of the theater, have the full screen, like as far away from me as possible. Because also I was wearing glasses. And so you sit back to where the whole screen's actually in your glasses. You're not seeing stuff past the edge. Now I have my laser vision, so I sit up in the front rows. But yeah, I used to just sit and throw popcorn at people as long as they were on their phone until they put their damn phone away. And yeah,
I'm
I don't want to
sorry.
go to.
You wasted how much money? That's like fucking 10 cents a fucking kernel you're throwing there, my
I'll
man.
put $2-3 at somebody till they put their damn
Do you know
phone
how
away.
much that bullet costs to get here to this location to be used by a dipshit like you? Not you.
The next one's coming at you faster. Yep. But yeah, no, I hate that shit. And also the other side of it too is you also have these people making movies that are so insanely long. I just watched Oppenheimer on Peacock. We got Peacock for the month. So for my $5, I watched like 10 live streaming events from WWE, and I've caught up on like 4 movies that were on Peacock, one of which was Oppenheimer. I didn't want to go to the theater for 3 hours to watch that movie. I watched an hour of it one night, could pause, eat dinner, whatever. And then I stopped it, got up the next day, had breakfast, and I finished watching the movie.
So man's watching Roots over here in parks.
Yeah,
God damn.
3 hour. It's a damn 3 hour film about the bomb. Like, I mean, super interesting, amazingly well made, super well acted, but it's not what you'd call action packed.
All right,
it's not a damn Scott Adkins movie.
2 things. One, I'm surprised they didn't do the song "You Dropped the Bomb on Me" in that movie at all. I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming they don't. It's a mistake.
I don't believe
2,
so. I don't believe it's in
if
there.
you have Peacock, I would recommend at least watching Twisted Metal. It's entertaining. Yeah. It's not a good show, but it's funny.
Shit.
It has it's a lot of funny bits tied together by not a good story, but it's a lot of good funny bits.
Here, what's sad is that I've been watching all that wrestling on there. I've watched a ton of shows and movies on Peacock because I think I've got like 3 or 4 more days before my month runs out. And I haven't even seen an advertisement. It hasn't popped up in my queue. They haven't even tried to get me to watch it, which how bad is that? Because with my
especially
history,
when you consider the fact it has a season 2 already greenlit, they should be promoting it.
Well, and if I'm watching all of this wrestling stuff on it and it has a wrestler as a voice actor in it, like there should be some crossover there where the algorithm.
Wrong company. AEW? He's in AEW, which is Warner Discovery.
But
that's
it's still
why they're not.
It's still the algorithm should be like, this person watches violent wrestling stuff. We should show them Twisted Metal.
But that doesn't make Thomas C. Howell. Is that how you say?
C. Thomas Howell. I thought it was
C. Thomas. Yeah,
Thomas Howell.
Fucking Sandman.
Pony Boy's in it.
Oh,
Pony Boy. Wasn't he his Pony Boy?
C. Thomas Howell from Outsiders. Pony Boy.
You're talking about Thomas Hayden Church. If you're talking
Thomas
about
Hayden Church, that's what I was thinking of. That's who I'm thinking.
Man,
Thomas Hayden. There's 3 names, man.
Lowell from Wings.
Yes, Lowell from Wings. I fucking love Wings.
There you
Monk's
go.
in there too.
All right. So I'll go.
Stacy.
I'm pulling it back. I'm pulling it back because I'm not done with what I'm into. You talked about wrestling. You opened the door, Willie. I'm sorry. I watched a pay-per-view this weekend. AEW Double or Nothing 5-year anniversary from Las Vegas at the MGM Grand.
Nice.
It was a 1-hour pre-show, which I didn't watch much of the pre-show. But then normally it's a 4-hour show. No. This one went 4.5 hours. Like I'm sitting there, I look at the clock. I'm like, it's midnight. We haven't even done the Anarchy in the Arena match. Like, oh shit, this is going to be a long night. It was a fun show. There's some really good stuff they did. It also had the return of one Maxwell Jacob Friedman, which makes me very happy because I do enjoy MJF.
Because he's better than you and you know it.
And everyone knows. They already put his 10-minute return promo up on the AEW YouTube channel. So if you're an MJF fan, go and check it out. The dude looks super jacked. He is evidently healed up and healthy, and he is in his Triple H 2002 era and how he returned with the jean jacket and the leather jacket combined. It's very interesting. But very good show. If you're a wrestling fan, it's enjoyable, and there's a bunch of ridiculous stuff. Here, I'll give you an idea of how ridiculous it was at one point. At one point, Jack Perry got lit on fire with a flamethrower that Darby Allin had.
Nice.
As you do.
Literally lit on fire.
He wanted more accessories for his action figure than a skateboard, so...
And then the Young Bucks now have there is a new exclusive Reebok Pump Young Buck edition that already came out. So for part of their cross promotion for that, they had custom ones built with thumbtacks in the bottom of them, and then super kicked Darby Allin in the face while he was hanging upside down from a rope coming down in the rafters to suspend him over the ring.
So cleats. They had cleats.
Effectively, they made thumbtack cleats.
Damn.
Why not just get cleats? That would hurt a lot more.
But Reebok pumps, it's 1980 what?
Yeah. They are all sold out last I'd seen. They dropped on Monday on Champs Sports website, I think. And I think they were sold out by the end of the day.
Them Young Bucks are old.
Well, yeah, they ain't young no more. They've been in the industry for like 15 years.
But they still bucking.
Yeah. Excuse me,
Sorry.
Matthew and Nicholas. You got to use their
I don't
passport names anymore. We're not
Well,
allowed
'cause
to
now
call
they're
them Matt
evil.
and Nick.
Yeah.
No.
Matt,
They're executive vice
Yeah, that's what I
presidents,
said.
not
That's what I
evil
said.
vice presidents.
evil. Yeah, they're heels.
But it was fun. I had a ton of fun with it. They played around with music a lot. In fact, at one point in time, they kept music playing in the arena while they were doing Anarchy in the arena. And then people kept going on the mic, like, that music sucks, put this on. And it then evolved into Danielson saying, this is terrible, put on the greatest wrestling theme ever. And they started playing the final countdown while they were beating the shit out of each other across the arena. Which then ended with that was Danielson's theme many years in Ring of Honor, which then ended with Matthew getting on the microphone and saying, this music costs too much. You just cost us $200,000. Turn that crap off. Because
not wrong.
Legit, the final countdown's very expensive to get because evidently they hated the song and they don't want to keep putting it out there. So they make it expensive as hell to get.
Oh, that makes you. Didn't Tony Khan drop like a huge couple of bucks to get Jungle Boy his song, and then now he's going by Jack Perry and not Jungle Boy anymore?
The scapegoat, Jack Perry.
Yeah. So is he not? He's not using that song anymore.
He hasn't been using Tarzan Boy for over a year at this point in time.
The actual song,
that was his theme.
Yeah,
they
were
paid
using
for that song.
Yeah,
I just put that on my
paid for it.
playlist. I didn't because it came up the Discover Weekly.
Tony Khan paid out the
Tarzan
nose.
Boy? Okay.
Yeah. Tony Khan paid out the nose for that song, and
Look,
then now he's not
I
even
love
Jungle
that
Boy
song
anymore.
though. Reminds me always Turtles 3.
They have realized in that company that paying for good music works. Like Orange Cassidy comes out to Jane by Starship. It's great.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's great. I love that song.
So not Jefferson Airplane, not Jefferson Starship. We're talking about Starship?
Jefferson Starship, excuse me.
Oh, okay. So Jefferson Starship, not Starship.
Yeah.
Not Jefferson Airplane. Yeah, because they changed their fucking name too many times, like P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Stop changing your name.
But that's what I've been getting into. I don't have anything else too fancy on that front, but I will toss things next to Mr. Willie D. Nelson. What you been getting into?
Oh, I'll keep it short, sweet, and simple. I've been doing Killer Klowns. Shoot.
We know you've been doing other stuff. I got a video queued up to put on screen right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting to that before I get. I'm trying to think. What did I do? I recently rewatched Happy Time Murders. Still super enjoyable, as long as you don't mind a very R-rated, raunchy Jim Henson movie. Well, not Jim Henson, but his son Brian Henson. But still, the Jim Henson Company, or is it the Henson Company? I can't remember.
It's the Henson Company, I think.
Yeah, the Henson Company.
I wasn't sure if it was the Jim Henson Company or something. But yeah, the Henson Company. And it's still a fantastical movie. Super enjoyable. Wish they would do more stuff like that, but I understand they won't. But other than that, I've been busy making a couple more rugs. One of them even have a special video for that should not have sound.
I already muted the sound, but Willie did share this with us earlier. For those of you watching the video live right now as we stream on Twitch, etc., it's up there, and it'll be on the YouTube edition when we publish that too. If you're listening to the audio podcast, just skip towards the end of the show, and you should be able to easily find it. Willie, why don't you describe what is going on here for our audio listeners?
So I was commissioned to make a moon Pokeball, a moon ball, which I haven't played Pokemon in a while. I think the moon ball is where it's easier to catch Pokemon that can be evolved with a moonstone. Chris, I'm looking to you because I know you play a lot more Pokemon.
I haven't played Pokemon in a while.
You played more than I have. But anyway, it's a moon ball. I'm not sure what it does, but I did a time-lapse video of me putting it up. It's still an unfinished video. It's just a little teaser, hopefully to be finalized and finished and put on the Instagram. Rugs by Willie Nelson. But it was a fun, simple time. It's about a 2-foot cross rug. And it was a fun time to do.
It is pretty cool, and it is really cool watching the time lapse to see how Willie does it. So, Willie, this time lapse, it's like a minute and 20 seconds time lapse. How much real time is it to get through what you did in that time lapse?
Let's see. I think one of them was about. Let's see.
I'm making him do math. I'm sorry, guys.
So that one's about 30. I want to say probably about in total of just the filming part that you see from where I cut and stopped them, I would say maybe like an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Total filming time, but I did have a whole camera setup where I had to go back there, mess with the camera, aka my phone. So that was always fun stopping and starting because I only have so much space on here, man. I got to make sure that's still going. Almost ran out because it wouldn't let me edit the videos.
Oh no!
So I had to edit them separately and then merge them into a thing and then delete them as I go. So that's the thing. Then you get more storage or delete some shit.
I'm looking at wanting to get like a small like Nikon or something for just filming, doing like time lapse and stuff. Just so that way, not tying up the phone to do that when I can use the phone to listen to a podcast or something.
Mm-hmm. And
if I get one, audio. If I get one, I'll let you know.
Why would you let me know?
So if it's a good one, then you might want to get one yourself.
I don't trust your opinion.
Whoa.
Fair enough.
I'm kidding. I trust your opinion.
Oh, that's mean.
You're mean.
You made me sad inside, Willie.
Good.
What's new?
Oh.
That's for you, Chris.
Let's toss things over to Bachman to finish it up for us. What you been getting into?
See. Yeah, I've been cleaning up the room. We got still moving stuff around after we did our yard sale. We made a whole bunch of room out in the garage, which is good. I've been got a little bit of reading done. I finished reading Zachary Levi's book, which I just mind blanking now. I can't remember what it's called. It's really good
called
book.
Shazam: How to Find Out What Music Is.
No, it is not. It's actually all about,
come on.
It is a go, but it's all about him dealing with mental health issues that he had, and it's all about just basically loving yourself and loving other people and coming to terms with your past, which is kind of cool because apparently it's kind of led to what he's now doing with Nerd HQ. So it's kind of cool to see he did Nerd HQ, for those that don't know, for 4 or 5 years in a row, like kind of at like the height of San Diego Comic-Con, and he was using all the money they collected. I think he said they ended up doing $2.5 million for Operation Smile over those 4 years. So he gave the money to a charity for helping kids with cleft palates get surgery. And he has now converted Nerd HQ to it's now a 501c3 whatever. That's a full non-for-profit organization to help people with mental health issues. And so he's been very public about the stuff he's dealt with. And it's, the book he wrote, I can't remember what the heck it's called, but I finished it. It's a really good book. It's super short. It's like 200 pages. But it just goes through all the crap he went through and like how bad things were when he was like at the height of his popularity was kind of like the worst time in his life, and just some of the stuff he dealt with. And just, basically it's a good book because he's a good guy trying to tell people like, hey, if you need help, go find it. Like there's nothing worse than just trying to deal with stuff and just trying to buck up, walk it off, rub some dirt in it. It's like when shit goes wrong, fucking take steps, try to improve things.
Question. At what
part
did he say his popularity was like the highest? Like I'm a little curious at what that part was.
Oh, he was talking about like at the end of Chuck. And when they were basically asking him to be in Shazam, and he was pretty much turning it down for the first Shazam movie. Because he was like, no, I'll never be big in like superhero. So he literally was like coming in to like play other characters. He didn't even think, like he in his own head didn't see himself playing Shazam. He's like, no, I couldn't be a superhero. But it's a really good book. But so I finished that one. I've been watching random wrestling stuff. They have a bunch of the WWE, I guess now, films on Peacock. So I watched like that 2-hour interview with Matt Stryker and Rey Mysterio, the man behind the mask. And I realized they have like the same thing on there. They have like an almost 2-hour one they have one for The Rock. They have one for Shawn Michaels. They have one for Triple H. I'm probably going to watch all of them because it's something that's easy to do for like background noise while I'm like cataloging comics.
I thought you were talking about like See No Evil, that Leprechaun movie they produced. I thought
that's what I thought. No.
Like, what?
No. They should have those on there. They may be on there. They should.
Yeah,
be.
like Kane's in there.
Films. Yeah,
he's a mayor.
See No Evil actually wasn't bad. Like it's
I haven't seen it once.
Of the WWE films. It's one of the. It might be the best one.
Yeah, the Leprechaun one definitely isn't. 100% isn't. It's not even a
Leprechaun
leprechaun.
one's
It's just a
not-
monster.
Oh, there's another one over here. If I can remember what it's called, that stars Paul White and Dean Cain, and it's about like a prison break. That not good. I got that one for like $3 at Walmart, and like they owe me $1.
I remember
Not a
Knucklehead
good
with
movie.
Paul White in it. That was actually a pretty good one. A feel-good movie.
Yeah. I mean,
Knucklehead,
Paul White's
I
a good
think is what
actor,
it's
but yeah,
called.
that was just not a good movie. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Somewhere over here on my shelf. But yeah, so yeah, just been watching random stuff like that. And then, yeah, we got through a couple of movies. We watched one, Gold Kamuy on Netflix, which we liked. It was interesting. It's about a bunch of people hide a bunch of gold, and then the only guy who knows where it can be found ends up in prison in Japan in like the late 1800s. And so he doesn't want to he can't sneak out information about where to get to the gold. So he ends up tattooing like a secret coded map on 24 different prisoners that then escape. And so the only way to get this map is to find these guys, kill them, and their skin is actually like designed to be cut off. Like if you follow his patterns, like it's meant for them to be basically skinned.
It's got scissor marks on it. Kind of about here.
Kind of, in a way.
Piecing the film together, right?
It's very weird, but it's one of those ones that were like, well, this looks crazy, and it's like, based on a manga and an anime, and like it looked really interesting. But what they don't tell you is like we're watching it and we're like an hour and a half in. We're like, they've only found like 5 guys so far. What is going on with this damn movie? Because it's one film, just one movie. And we were watching it, like the movie ends and like basically it's going to be, and the further adventures of, which they don't advertise that on Netflix because they haven't made any other movies yet. I guess there's like 4 series of the anime. The book ran for like 5 years. So there's like 30 volumes of the comic. And so it's something where like they'd have to end up doing 4 to 5 movies to finish the story, but they don't tell you that in the advertising. They're like, oh no, here's the complete story of this thing, is what they kind of make it look like, which that part was annoying, but the movie itself was interesting. And then we also watched Atlas, which just came out on Netflix, which is the Jennifer Lopez versus Shang-Chi one, where Shang-Chi is AI trying to kill humans, and J-Lo gets her own Titanfall robot to keep her alive. I really liked it. Jana was not so much of a fan. She didn't think it was that interesting, but I don't know. It was kind of like I'm trying to remember what it was. They mixed Titanfall with something else. The Creator, that movie that they just had where like humans versus AIs. So just take the Titanfall game and the Creator movie, slap them together, throw in a little Shang-Chi. It was entertaining. It was cool. The robot stuff was good. The interface stuff that they designed was pretty interesting. The special effects were fun. Other than that, I did go pick up new comics yesterday, so I was able to read now. I've only got my month pull list now was only a whopping 4 books. 4 books. That's what we're down to now. 2 Amazing Spider-Mans, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Miles Morales, which Ultimate Spider-Man is still just damn weird, but I don't hate it, but it's weird. And then Miles Morales, they made his clone brother is now part of his family, which is kind of cool. The shapeshifter, which they did some fun stuff with that in this issue, which is good. Marvel is also doing another really annoying thing, which if you notice, this is the back of both of these comics, because that's the only way I can tell what issue they are. So I got Amazing Spider-Man 49 here and Amazing Spider-Man 50. And the reason I have them in the bags backwards is because when you look at the front cover of Amazing Spider-Man 49, it's a Donald Duck as Havoc recreation of 60th anniversary of X-Men 58. And there is nothing on this cover to tell you what actual fucking comic book you're buying.
I like it though.
No, the designs are great. And it's like the 5th one they've done. But there's nothing to tell me this is Amazing Spider-Man. Absolutely nothing.
It's one half of my favorite comic book characters.
Yeah. And I thought it was bad enough they're doing all the Disney ones just because they show you nothing. But then Amazing Spider-Man 50, there's the cover.
I like it.
Chris, you're on mute. It's a beautiful drawing of Spider-Man in the black suit, but I don't know what book this is. I don't know what number it is. There is no information on the cover.
It
is cool, though.
Venom.
What the fuck? Like,
or the black suit, I should say.
Why do I have to put my books backwards in their sleeves just to know what the fuck they are? That's ridiculous.
We'll get clear backings or boards for them. Clear boards.
You mean plastic?
Yeah. Harder plastic.
It's just annoying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
It's just annoying. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I'm down to only 4 books for the month, and one of them was $10 because it's the 50th issue, though it's not really the 50th issue because wait,
is this the spider who gobbles that they're doing right now? Because I don't care about that.
Yeah, he basically he got stuck with Norman's crap, and so now at the end, I think it's the end of 50. Yeah, you got Peter starts giggling, and so he's going to be the spider goblin now, which I don't know. They did the storyline where he got stabbed and he basically had Norman Osborn's quote unquote sin in him. And it was just kind of Peter Parker just like cutting loose and just not caring about anything. And at least that was interesting. It's like Peter Parker didn't care.
But here's the problem. He didn't care even after he got the sins extracted from him. Norman was like, well, you shouldn't worry about it. It wasn't you. And he was like, okay. I'm like, that's not Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's not Peter Parker. The character that runs on guilt, whose entire career is based on the fact that he made one bad decision and his uncle died. And since then, he's saved like 500,000 people one-on-one. Not just not including the times he saved the world. Yeah, it was very much not in character for Peter Parker to be like, oh yeah, it wasn't me. I was sick with whatever. But at least when he did have the sin in him, it was an interesting story. And now it's just like, oh, Norman is the Golden Goblin, and also the Green Goblin's back because Norman got the spear back and had to take back his own sin. And he hid that, and then he injects Peter, and now Peter's going to have the goblin serum. And so, yeah, it's going to be the Spider Goblin. I mean, Nick Spencer's not the worst writer. I'm not going to say that. I don't hate the guy.
It's not Nick Spencer writing it now. It's Zeb Wells.
Oh, it's Zeb Wells now? Okay, So it was Nick Spencer, now Zeb Wells. They're all okay. I'll be honest, I miss Dan Slott. I'm sorry, I do. I miss Dan Slott. If you can't get Stan Lee on it, I'd rather have Dan Slott write it. He's not dead. Dan Slott should be chained to a desk and forced to write Spider-Man until the day he dies. He's amazing.
Slot the man, Dan, in the spot.
Yeah, he's awesome. But I mean, yeah, the book's not awful, but it ain't my favorite thing right now. And yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man is just so weird. And what they've done with Harry Osborn, Green Goblin in this world where the evil Reed Richards had stopped everybody from becoming a superhero, and then Spider-Man ends up getting like a nanotech spider suit with a spider bite. It's just a crazy, weird take on it. And
the suit got bitten?
No, he got a techno suit, and then he got bitten by a spider. So
the whole concept there was the maker captured the spider before it could bite Peter as a teenager.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark, who is the Iron Lad in this universe, he's a kid, found out about some of that stuff and basically sent the spider along with what they call a Pico tech suit or a Pico suit to Peter to say, you can choose. This was taken from you when you were a child. This should have been you. You should have done this. And Peter chose to let the spider bite him as a mid-30-year-old married man with 2 kids, and was given the Pico suit that when he first got it was literally just an all-black costume with just white eyes. And then he's kind of developed the Spider-Man costume with his daughter's assistance.
Yeah, because he looked scary, which made sense. Because, it was literally like Tony Stark sent him a black sphere, and when he opened it, he basically absorbed the spear onto his skin, and it just became the suit. So it's, thought tech.
If you didn't get it, get the free comic book day preview for the Ultimates #1, or that they did, that explains a lot of what happened with Iron Lad and Doctor Doom, who is not Victor Von Doom, by the way, and Thor and Sif and Captain America and stuff like that, because they're just about to start the Ultimates book.
Yeah.
Now.
Again? And that Ultimates book is going to be in the same world where that Peter Parker lives, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's a weird world where the maker basically stopped everybody from becoming who they were going to become.
And kept Captain America on ice, for instance.
Yeah. So he just went around and oh, here's this kid who's about to be bit by it. Let me grab that spider. Oh, here's Rick Jones. Let me stop him from going down that test site so that Bruce Banner doesn't run out to save him. He just like showed up at all the right points and just stopped all the heroes from being created so that he would be the man, basically, in his world. He built himself his own little world where he was in charge of everything.
You know who Dr. Doom is in the
He's a
new
prick.
Ultimates, right?
No clue.
It's Reed Richards.
Oh, it's that world's actual Reed Richards?
It's that world's Reed Richards is Dr. Doom.
Okay, that's kind of fitting if Maker is the villain.
There's some really cool Jonathan Hickman twists that are going on here. I just hope he gets a chance to tell the full story he wants, because that's sort of what happened with the X-Men Krakoa arc, is that he didn't get to finish it.
Yeah, that's what because like all of the lead up, all of the creation, having the X-Men literally, they use their powers to terraform Mars and make it a livable planet. And Hickman wrote it in a way that if you have these characters with those superpowers, it makes sense what they did. Like, he actually made it make sense storyline wise. It's like, okay, I can see like if you did this and did that, okay. And
one thing to keep in mind is Krakoa just ended too.
Yeah, they got rid of it. Yeah, like they're relaunching all the X-Men books. It's like 3 new. It's like, yeah, I did. I canceled my X-Men. I canceled Wolverine. I'm not.
But here's
reading
the
none
thing.
of that stuff.
Gail Simone's got an X-Men book now, so I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, she's a hell of a writer. Gail Simone can write anything. I mean, she made people love Bane on the Suicide Squad. I mean, that's a level of talent that most writers will never hit. She made Bane interesting and like, you know, impactful as a character and not just a brute force, which I don't really think he was in the original Batman books. He was just, you know, kind of a brick wall. But yeah, other than that, been reading comics and then going through stuff and cleaning up in here and getting stuff ready to keep moving stuff out into the garage, because now I can catalog these 12 long boxes, get those out on a table. Those are my keepers, and then I've got 28 other long boxes to catalog so I can try selling them. That's what I've been getting into.
There you go.
Will be getting into for a while.
Yeah, you're not getting out of that anytime soon.
No.
On that note, we are going to start shutting things down. A friendly reminder before we do that, though, we do stream this show live every week. Right now, we're doing Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So please feel free to come and join us at GonnaGeek.com/live. That is the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. You can find us and all the other great podcasts on the network. But if you want to chat with us in between now and then, we know social media is a pain in the ass. Some people are on Twitter, some people are on Threads, some people are on Blue Sky. We never know where to find folks. Go to GonnaGeek.com/Discord. You can join the network Discord server. There is a channel in there for the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. So please feel free to come join us in that channel and talk about anything we talked about in the show. And feel free to jump in on any of the other channels on that Discord server.
And I will say, thank you to Haru Funks for asking the question. I do apologize. I had actually let my Discord lapse. I haven't restarted my computer in a while. I wasn't logged in. So like when I just literally had to rejoin the Discord. So, like, that's on me. My shit expired.
So we're on Discord. The rest of the network, and a whole bunch of other channels like comic book channels, video game channels, stuff like that. Come join us. Come geek out with a bunch of like-minded folks. The Gonna Geek Discord's a pretty laid-back, calm place, and we just kind of have fun and don't have much drama there. So please come join us there. Have some fun with us. Before we shut this thing down, though, you guys have any final thoughts for the people?
He's Howard the Duck. Woo!
Dun, dun. I just rewatched Ready Player One, the best Spielberg movie.
Oh,
that was AI.
Oh, jeez. Send your hate mail on Discord to @Bach2099 in the All Things Good and Nerdy channel.
It had Hailey Joel Osment and a little fucking cute ass teddy bear.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Ready Player One, but I don't think that's Spielberg's best film. Seriously, send your hate mail to him @Bach2099 on the Discord server.
I'm hoping to bring him back for the sequel.
I'm getting out of here before you say anything that's going to cause movie social media to come and cancel us. We will see you all next week for another installment of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you then. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at GonnaGeek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us at atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.